Good morning, guys. How you doing? I've just done a Facebook Live for a few seconds. Let everybody look at my fridge. I just made myself a freshly pressed ginger and squeezed lemon and a little bit of natural honey from Mijas Mountain. Oh, you must be coming down with cold then. Oh, why's that? Well, because you're drinking that stuff. Oh, so really I should only drink it when I'm coming down with something. Well, that's what it's for, isn't it? No, you drink it every day to keep all of that stuff away rather than take it because you've got something wrong. Isn't that the wisest thing to do? Oh, never thought about that. Well, what's the point if I'm healthy? And that's how we think. Hello, come closer. That's how we think, right? We've always thought like that because that's how we've been brought up. The last thing the world wants you to do is think about looking after yourself, because nobody makes any money from that. If you're healthy and you're always healthy and you don't need hospitals and doctors, then there's no business, is there? Get poorly! Lord, don't worry, you're all right. You don't need anything. So I invest every day in looking after my body and the things that I need to digest, that I feel my body's always looking for. And once you start an awakening of yourself, you start to feel certain things and you start to think, oh, why do I feel like I need a banana? Yay, you've got it! Because you need a banana! Because your body's telling you you need potassium. And why do I need an apple? I feel like an apple now. I feel like this, I feel like that. And before you know it, you'll end up going to your grocers, your natural organic grocers, and you'll see the fruit and the vegetables which you know, you can feel are actually real. That is not a lie, that is the truth. And you'll also know when you need a certain, it's not like, oh, I fancy that. It's actually, I need that. I can feel my body needs it and it's calling me. Just like a crystal, all of a sudden you're called to something. You don't know why, but you're called to it. And that's the awakening. That's the awareness. That's the heightened, amazing energy that we all have that is suppressed because the world tells us we're really crazy and there's something wrong with us, and that's not real because it's not written in any book, because the world doesn't want you to be who you are. The world molds you every day to be what it wants what they want you to be. So, they want you to buy all junk and crap. They want you to be poorly. They don't want you to look. You can be healthy as long as you buy this. You can do this as long as you do this. There's always attachment to everything, which is an agenda to the world. And the world, what I'm talking about, is wherever you see advertisements all the time, banging at you all the time, boom, boom. There's a reason why they're doing that. There's a reason why mainstream media are always banging things at you all the time. And it's not to share love, and it's not to share truth, it's to share propaganda, lies, manipulation, so that you end up buying or believing what they want you to believe. And when you turn it off and you just ignore that and you start to listen to yourself, oh, God forbid, be careful, your head might explode. You start to take responsibility for your life. You start to, hang on a minute, no, I'm going to listen to what feels right to me. And then you start to listen to your own body, and then we go right back to where I started. The enlightenment, the you, the real powerful you who has all the answers to your health, to your understanding, to your surroundings, to everything that you do every day. I choose now to meet people that I love. I don't choose to meet people that send me crazy, who say bad things, who are negative, who are judgmental, who pull people down. I choose to say no to that. I choose to go into a supermarket and look and say, none of this is food. I choose to walk out of there and say, where I need to find a place what sells organic fruit and vegetables. Now I find it. Now I choose to buy what's good for my body. I choose to listen to what my body tells me, not what a man in a white coat tells me I should and shouldn't do. I choose to take responsibility for my life, for every action I take and everything that I put inside my mouth and everything that I don't put inside my mouth. Today's a great day, guys. Cheers. Just gone off on one. Okay, what am I doing today? What are we doing today? Well, I had loads of messages last night about a topic which is interesting to me, but it's going to be too long for me to even start there. How do you balance being a mother and spirituality? You know, that's going to be a long subject, but I will tackle it one day, I promise, but step by step, because there's lots involved in being a mum and, you know, being a parent and looking after your children and being spiritual. There's a lot involved, but I've got to be honest, if you watch the 600 videos, you'll find a lot of those videos in there which will help, and it does talk about children and how to you know, just be aware of your child, you know, just little snippets of, you know, when a child is angry, why are they angry? Well, they're angry because they can't express themselves, or we as parents don't see what they're trying to say. So, you know, when we get angry, the child gets angry, nobody understands. That's a massive thing that a friend of mine has just posted on her Instagram and Facebook, and it's so true. That's one of the things that is a real struggle with life, an adult's understanding of a child. And sometimes, because we're an adult and we're busy, we're doing things, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we don't have time for that. But you know what? The truth is, we have to make time, like we make time for ourselves, our life, the people who are in our life. We need to make time for our children, and we need to listen to them and actually try and understand what they're saying, because each child is very different from another. So you can have two children completely different in energy. One can be extremely emotional and he's trying to explain themselves or express themselves, and nobody's listening properly, so it turns into a temper, and you think there's something wrong with your child when all along all they wanted to do was express themselves, but nobody understood them. So it turns to anger. Well, it's frustration, then anger, or it seems anger, but it's really frustration, and they're sad and they're upset. So I've got lots of videos on here. If you take the time and have a look, there's 500 or 600 videos, so that should help. So today, guys, what we're going to talk about, two beautiful crystals. Okay, the two crystals that I love working with when involved in grief. And grief meaning the loss of somebody, but not only the loss of somebody that has gone and left you with heartbreak, or you don't see them anymore, like your child might be across the world. Grief can have different emotions attached to them. So one is a loss of a family member to the spirit world, or a friend, or an animal that you love. That grief, I mean, I don't really know the word grief. I'd have to look it up in the dictionary. But when I express myself to grief, it isn't just the passing of somebody who's moved back home that I'm feeling sad about. Grief can be many different forms in my world. So I could be completely wrong, as the Wikipedia would say, or whoever, the dictionary, whatever. But this is just my take. So let's have a look at this great mix. The two crystals that I love to work with is the first one here. I've been working on these now for about 9, no, even longer, about 15 weeks now. These are Tektites. When I finish working with these beauties, they'll be sent to Bali, and my beautiful family over there who work with silver and gold will mount them, so it will be mounted lovely. I don't think I've got any left on my website. I might have one or two, but not many. I finished working with some last week, and they're nearly ready to go on the website, but not for probably in about another 5 or 6 days. So Tektite, beautiful crystal. So the Tektite is here, and the second crystal of marriage, where we put them together, is this beauty. Now this is Black Tourmaline, and I used to work with this probably 3 years at the beginning of my awakening towards what healing truly was. I went on a path to find out what healing was. And the only way I could really understand what healing was, energy, what the process of how people can heal from pain and suffering, and how to get over pain and suffering, was when I became a healer. I started learning the art of healing, different forms. When I first began, I opened my door when I was confident enough. After practicing and practicing, I thought I'll open the door and start a little tiny room. I'll start in a little tiny room and I'll begin the healing work with clients. And of course, most of you already know now, I worked for 3 years free of charge. I was lucky enough to have back then a wife who was running a shop, so she could run the shop and I could be upstairs just doing the work. So I opened the door to anybody with cancer and anybody with disease, mainly cancer. And I started doing the work, and of course I had lots of clients coming who had just lost a family member or a beautiful pet that they loved. And I don't like calling them pets. They're our beautiful family too. They have 4 legs, but they have a soul, and they've more of a soul than some humans. So that you know, family members of our animal kingdom. So they used to come every day, and I used to work every day, and I found myself working with Black Tourmaline. I don't know why, nobody ever told me about it, but I saw a piece that was really ugly, and I thought, well, it really feels like a release, and it just felt right. And then I was introduced to Tektite, and for some strange reason I started wearing both these pieces. But what I noticed was that the Black Tourmaline was hanging, and I didn't do this. This isn't something like, oh, I've read it. This was like natural. I made string because I didn't want silver chains at that time. I just made string, so I got some string and I hung this around my neck, and it always hung round my heart area. But for some strange reason, when I used to hang the Tektite, it used to be hanging down here. And I always used to be doing my healing work on my clients, and I used to grab the Tektite in my hand because I was doing the healing like this, and I'd grab the Tektite and be doing the healing work like this. Then I would swap hands and grab this piece, or let me show you how it normally went. Let me grab some string. Sorry, I just grabbed some string. I prefer string, to be honest. It's more natural for me. So, this would be round my neck, on my heart, just there, right, round about here. Your boobies are here, so it should be a little bit lower, about there, so it's across here. And your heart's round here, right? I think it's when we say our heart's here, I think it's right in the middle. So my hand would then go here, like that, and then I'd continue the healing work, or it'd grab here, and I'd be doing this, the healing work, going around the body, or laying my hand on their heart. And I found myself finding this fascinating, because what I was finding is that every time I was working with clients with grief, I would be holding this for maybe half an hour, or like this, and placing my hand on their heart. If it was a woman and she had breasts, like she would, I would take her hand when she was lying down and lay it there, and then I would lay my hand on top, because as any healer knows, you must be very, very careful if you're a man working in a room with a woman. It only takes one person to scream, oh, he touched me. So be careful if you're healers and you're guys there who wants to do healing. Be very careful, guy. Be wise. Be very wise, okay? If you're doing the healing work and you like to do energy work, then you don't need to go anywhere near. You can go further, higher. But what I found is over the years, I was getting closer and closer to the heart. So then I'd lay their hand there and I'd put my hand just gently over it and blast them with this energy. So I guess what I'm trying to say today is that black tourmaline, if you get beautiful black tourmaline, hold it in your hand or put it by your heart, it starts to heal your heart. Now, how that happens is, I don't believe it's the same as Tektite at all. I think what Tektite does is clear the emotional pain from the stomach with grief. So you've got a two-way energy here. This is, of course, your mind is going to suffer, but I think from the mind it runs down and sits in the heart, and then it goes down to the stomach. So it's a three-way thing. So I'm just targeting the issue first where it sits most predominantly, which is the heart. So I would suggest that black tourmaline is a perfect place to put by the heart, or if you hold it in your hand like this, if you just get a little piece, hold it in your hand and then go like this and meditate that way. Let the crystal do its work. There's no need to think about anything other than, this is the way I would do it. I've lost a lot of family and friends to our home, okay, lots. People that I love who are on my wall here, and lots of other people. I've lost two beautiful, Daisy and Dennis, my two schnauzers, and the way I try and heal myself from grief, one, I already know they've gone home, so they're happy, so it doesn't hurt as much knowing that they're home and they're happier than me. I mean, this place is like hell sometimes. They're in paradise, they're in the oneness and love, and there is no issue in the spirit. It's in the spirit world, it's just pure. So that's not the side that affects me. I think we get the word grief all wrong. I think what it is we miss people, and if we could change the word from grief to I miss them, that would be an easier way to heal rather than using the word grief, okay? So, I miss them. So what am I going to do to not miss them? Well, I often say to my clients, and while I'm doing the healing work or on myself, is that, you know what? I'm going to remember every single happy moment we shared together. The days that my Daisy and Dennis took me places, that we played chase together, that we did things together, that, you know, the times that we laughed and had fun, times that my Daisy was in the van next to me and leaning as I was turning left and turning right. She'd been amazing at this from a little puppy, and being with me all the good times that I've shared with family and friends who have moved to the spirit world, my mum, all the times that I remember her doing funny things and being kind to me, and remembering all those things while my hand is on my heart. This is what I'm asking you to do. So while your hand is on your heart with this beautiful black tourmaline, I believe there is a very special process of healing the missing of somebody. So I would say that black tourmaline helps you from clearing away the feeling of loss and missing somebody, to connecting to them in the spirit world. That's my belief about black tourmaline, and a lot of people will laugh at that, but that's my belief. If I want to get closer to my mum, if she's just passed away, or my beautiful doggy, or my friend, I'm going to wear black tourmaline, because I don't believe it just clears the missing, but it helps you connect to your family who is around you at any given moment. Now, the issue with this is that when we feel the energy of grief or missing somebody, you can't possibly feel anybody around you. You can't feel them around you. Even if they're there, you can't feel them, because the energy of grief and missing somebody is so powerful, it blocks you from actually attuning to somebody that you love. And that's a common mistake we all make. And this is why I've spent 15 years telling people to find their happiness, to let it go, because the quicker you find your happiness and let grief and suffering and missing somebody go, you then start a new world, a new life of a reconnection of your family who is home. And they come to you more, you feel them more, you see the signs more, you smell them more, you think about them more. And those thoughts aren't thoughts. Those thoughts are you attuning to your family because they're next to you. Did you know that? So when you're thinking, well, why is it that you think about, your brother, your sister, your mother, your dog, all of a sudden from nowhere? Why do you just think about that? Why did that just come into your mind? Anything else could have come into your mind. Why was that? Well, and that reminded me of that. Or did it? Think about it. Did it? Well, no, it just came into my mind. Okay, so if something just pops into your mind and you remember somebody from the spirit world, that's because they're next to you. And the reason why is the world won't teach you this. They won't allow you to understand this. But there is a connection between your heart and the spirit world, and you can attune to them. Anybody can. And then when you feel them, all of a sudden, it will jog what you think is a memory, but it's not a memory. It's a connection. So what's happening is when they're next to you, you're connecting to them. And all of a sudden, oh, I've just thought about my mum. No, you didn't thought about her. She's there. So the difference between this is, I know we're going off on one and we're not as much talking about Black Tourmaline, but I am, because this helps you understand and connect to that energy once you clear the grief and the missing of somebody. So what I'm saying to you is that if I take a photograph out of my mum and look at it, then I'll think about my mum because of the photograph. But the times that you didn't even think about them and they just popped into your head, just like my friend popped into my head, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from them, or I see them that day and say, oh, I was just thinking about you. It's the same. The same as your friend is living skin in this world, who's still a spirit inside, is the same as your mum who's moved into the light. And it's the same energy, but your mind and the world teaches you that we're separated, that the spirit world is no longer, and that because I'm in this skin, that this is real. Hello? It's not. We are all real, whether we're in the spirit world or here, because the essence of who you are isn't this. This is just skin and bones. The real you is inside and around you. You are everything that your mother, your doggy, your best friend who's moving into the spirit world is. We're the same. It's just that we have been programmed to believe that there's a separation between these two worlds. Well, there may be a separation with the eyes because we can't see them, but I promise you, you will feel them. You will smell them. They will give signs to you every day. And because we can't see through these eyes, we might capture glimpses of them, but we believe then that they've gone. And I'm telling you, they haven't gone. They're with you. I've done thousands of healings on clients lying down. And when I finished, I said, my God, I've just felt a lovely lady next to you. She was wearing all black and she had like this gold medallion. Oh my God, that was my grandma. Oh, okay. Well, how did I know that? I don't. I just felt this energy around, and she showed me a picture of herself. I can be doing a healing on a young girl at 22 and I say, there's two little girls at the bottom of your bed. I can just see them. She starts crying. I lost twins. Well, they're there. How old were they? I don't know. Maybe 3 or 4. I lost them 4 years ago. And you think I'm crazy. Yeah, I think I am crazy because I'm not like everybody else who doesn't see these things. But that's my truth. That's what I know is real. That's my truth, my reality. Just because other people don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And when people start to get into this world of spirituality, of learning how to heal, and people who come here after 4 days, their whole life changed. Their whole life changes completely because they've never experienced being in the stillness of healing people. Oh, Mark, I don't even think I can do this. You can do it better than anybody now you've said that. Well, why is that? Because the people who think they know what they're doing, it takes me longer to help them become a healer because I have to unclear all of that rubbish away that they've believed. So anybody can heal. You can heal. Anybody. Children can heal. And it's all a lie that the system says that we're evil, we do wrong, we're no good, we're crazy. It's all a manipulation. So I know I've diverted from these two crystals, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit passionate about this because I want the world to become healers. I want you to become a healer. I want you to heal. Because when I say I want you to be a healer, it means that if you become a healer, it means that you start to heal yourself. That's the whole point. If we could teach healing in schools, we would have a world of love, compassion, and free from bullying, free from wars. Because when we connect to another human being on the level of compassion and love and sending healing to them, you trigger something, you awaken something within your whole being of love. And you then realize, and this is why 4 days here, your whole life changes. Guys, big German guys walking through this door, won't even go anywhere near you with a handshake. At the end of 4 days, they're cuddling me, they're cuddling everybody, because they realize that the truth is love, pure love, and healing yourself is connecting to others and healing and helping others. That's the whole point of life. So anyway, guys, my top tip for missing somebody who's no longer here and they're living in another country, Black Tourmaline and Tektite together are amazing crystals, because the absorbing of any negative energy from here to here, which eventually goes to the stomach, okay, and around the stomach, and that's why you women get a lot of issues down there, is because of the emotional stress that you go through from day to day. So I would recommend this with this if you're going through grief or missing somebody. So this then brings the connection to you, to the spirit world. I hope you've understood what I've been saying today. Sometimes I go off on one. So from there, any left issue or pain or suffering goes down here, and this beauty then absorbs it. So I would wear this around here. Okay, that's it, guys. I think we've had a great day today. It's been lovely sharing this little bit of information with you. I hope you truly understand. I'm not saying it's a miracle worker. I'm saying it helps. Some people hold on to grief for many years. My grandma lost her daughter, Marissa, which was my mum. I saw my grandma turn in from a strong woman to a woman who lost her marbles, and she was wearing black every day till the day she died. And I believe no parent should see their child move into the spirit world. I think that's the most painful thing in the world. And some people deal with grief completely different. I am not here to say to you, don't grieve, don't feel sad, don't miss them. That's not what I'm saying. My videos are to help you try and move forward. The Buddha says pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. But how long you suffer for is up to you, because your mind says, I love them so much that I must suffer. I say you love them so much that you must not suffer. And the reason why is they're watching over you, saying, please don't suffer. Be happy, be joyful that we shared our life together. And the day you look in the mirror and you remember your beautiful family, your doggy, your cat, your horse, your brother, sister, children, whoever, the day you look in that mirror and smile at the memory of the time that you had together, is the day that you will understand that the spirit world next to you are watching and smiling with you. So if you want to heal, if you want to know how to heal your family and spirit, and if you want to know how happy they are, then look in the mirror at the person you're thinking of, and then ask yourself, how do you feel about them today? If you're sad, upset, and feeling pain, then that's exactly where they are too. When you're happy and joyful and you speak to them every day, even though you can't hear them or feel them, and speak to them and tell them you love them through a photograph or your mind, that is the day that they will be healed and feel happy, because they only work in the spirit world to see you happy in this world. That's part of their journey too. Okay, guys, love you all. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. You deserve it. Feel free, feel love, and always know that the spirit world is always around us, watching and loving us and taking care of us. Be happy today, because they are. Bye, guys.